Anthropic's Claude story just got bigger. At first, this looked like a company choosing to limit access to a powerful model. Now, it looks bigger than that. Major financial institutions and regulators are paying attention, and that changes the story. The question is no longer only what this model can do. The question is whether our institutions are ready for what comes next. Anthropic had already signaled that this was different. This was not a normal public release. Access was being kept tight, not open broadly to the public. Instead, the model was being shared in a much more controlled way with a small group focused on security and critical software. That early decision matters because it showed that Anthropic was treating this model differently from the start. Then the story moved beyond Anthropic itself. Senior officials warned major bank leaders about the risks tied to the model. Regulators in another major financial market are now reviewing those same risks. That changes the picture. This is no longer only about one company being cautious. It is starting to become a wider institutional concern. Why do banks matter so much here? Because banks are not just another industry. They sit near the center of modern infrastructure. They connect to payment systems, markets, businesses, and everyday life. So when banks are part of the response, this stops sounding like niche technology news. It starts sounding like a broader systems story. That may be the biggest signal in all of this. Some of the most advanced models may no longer be treated like ordinary products. They may start to be treated more like controlled capabilities. That does not mean a crisis is already here, but it does suggest that the institutions around these models are starting to think differently about what could come next. And that is the real question underneath this story. The question is not only whether the model is powerful, the question is whether our institutions can adapt fast enough as these systems keep getting more capable. Because once that level of capability becomes normal, the response around it may matter just as much as the model itself.